Hello, welcome to another story time from Barnsley Libraries. Today I'm reading The Butterfly Who Couldn't Fly. It's written by Rikki Robertson, illustrated by Francis Coles, and we're using it with their permission. This is a story of love and devotion, of friendship as deep as the deepest of ocean, a butterfly's eggs hatching one at a time, first one, then two, and eventually 9. 9 caterpillars all kept in a jar, with a little girl saying, "Look how cute you are," all eating and climbing and growing each day, except one caterpillar who can't find her way. This poor caterpillar, named Dot by the girl, when she tried to move straight, her body would curl, and every time she attempted to crawl, she would slip and slide and eventually fall. So, stuck at the bottom with tears in her eyes, alone and afraid, she cried and she cried. But her dear friend Ash, who was loyal and kind, soon noticed her missing and turned with a smile and said, "Don't worry, Dot, I'll be down in a while." Ash started to hurry down the side of the jar, while all of the caterpillars climbed high and far. But a mean caterpillar who was covered with fur, he said to Ash, "Why go back for her? She's tiny, she's ugly, she's weakest of all. Don't waste her time with her. She can't even crawl." Ash knew the difference in his head between right and wrong, so proudly he said, "The least I can do when I see someone sad is be there as a friend and make them feel glad. I'll offer my feet. I have 6 in all. I'll help her to stand, then I'll teach her to crawl." Now Ash was as good as his promise and more. He stayed with Dot till she started to crawl, and if she grew tired and needed to rest, then Ash would do something that friends do best. He'd carry her gently upon his great back, crawling upwards and upwards to keep her on track, until they each reached the top, where they saw something strange. Some of the caterpillars were beginning to change. "Now rest, Dot," he said. "It's time to sleep. Hear my promise that I swear I'll keep. I'll behave you still when you open your eyes. We'll be best friends forever as 2 butterflies. We'll fly around the garden, we'll work as a team. So close your eyes, Dot, and have butterfly dreams." But the mean caterpillar, who was covered with fur, he thought to himself, "There's no room for her. There's only space for 8, no more." So he swung and he knocked poor Dot to the floor. And that's where she lay, while waiting to change, till the little girl noticed and said, "How strange, that one little caterpillar's sleeping alone, while all of the others have made hanging homes. I'll have to keep watch, because Dot's only small, and hopefully none of the others will fall." Now the girl was as good as her promise and more. She was there when her caterpillars began to transform. First 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. 4 butterflies, and more to be born. The little girl clapped and danced with glee. 4 butterflies, all friends with me. And look, there's Dot, all safe and sound after her nasty fall to the ground. How great to see that she's all right. She's flying freely like a kite. Then 5, then 6, then 7, and 8. 8 butterflies, I cannot wait for number 9. That's Ash, she said. But why is she being such a sleepyhead? Now Dot was thinking just the same. As the 7 other butterflies played their games of tig and tag and capture the flag, she waited for Ash, alone and sad. Then suddenly she heard a mighty crack. Out popped Ash's head, and he said, "I'm back!" Now Dot flapped her wings and danced with glee and said, "Come out, Ash, and play with me. We've a new home. It's a butterfly tent." But as Ash flapped his wings, she could see one had bent. "Oh no," Ash cried. "What's wrong with my wings? They're not working right. This is the worst of things. Like the poor mockingbird who couldn't sing, or the little green frog whose feet had no springs. So sad he never learned to hop. And what about the bull in the china shop, who was told that he wasn't allowed to run? For a bull, that can't have been much fun. Now I'm the butterfly that cannot fly. I'll never glide or touch the sky." Hours and days and nights passed by, and all Ash could do was try. He'd try, and he'd try, and he'd try his best, but would often grow tired and need to rest. One time he hovered for a second, no more, but then sank and slumped back down to the floor. It's hopeless, he cried. I'll never fly. I'll never soar through clear blue skies. Then came the day for the butterfly's release, a perfect day with a nice summer's breeze, with the chirping of birds and the buzzing of bees. The little girl sat under the orchard trees and opened her tent to set her butterflies free. The first two said, let's fly to the sea. So up they soared, flying hand in hand, to live by the beach and play in the sand. The next to fly were 3 and 4. They wanted to hear a lion's roar, so they flapped their wings and away they flew to visit the Lion Safari Zoo. It was soon the turns of 5 and 6. They'd been working on fancy tricks, like flying together in loop-the-loop, to thunderous applause, in cheers and hoops. So it became that their grand purpose was to fly away and join a circus. The mean butterfly began to moan. I think I'd rather be here on my own than be stuck here with you two on this leave. I'd rather leave and cause mischief. So with these words he flew away, and though Ash thought that Dot would stay, she flapped her wings towards the sun. 9 butterflies were down to 1. Poor Ash was left alone that hour until the girl brought him a flower and said, climb on, I'll carry you outside this tent to someplace new. How about this plant? Or this fruit tree? There's too many bananas to eat for me. We'll have oranges, watermelons and nectar too, and there's lots and lots for you to do. Like make new friends with the bumblebees. They love butterflies. They'll be so pleased. And let's not forget the big black ants that live beneath these leafy plants. So Ash soon made some brand new friends. But this is not where the story ends, for little Dot had only left because she had a special quest to follow the mean butterfly and watch him like a secret spy. She saw him steal and swear and lie. He even made a cricket cry. Then one day he got his legs all tangled up in spiders' webs, and just as he was about to be eaten, Dot flew to his rescue and helped to release him. My goodness, he cried, you saved my life, when all I've done is cause you strife. I was about to meet a sticky end, but would you treat me as a friend? Why? Because Dot said I'd rather be kind than leave a fellow creature behind. My dear friend Ash helped me to crawl when I was just a helpless ball. He filled my heart with peace and love and taught me how to rise above those nasty bullies who make us cry. Now I'm the perfect butterfly. The mean butterfly hung his head in shame. Guess I'm the one to blame for causing sadness instead of joy. I've been a very naughty boy. I promise now that I'll be good and behave exactly as you would. I'll be honest, helpful, most of all kind, never leave any creature behind. A lesson learned, Dot's work was done, so now it's time to have some fun, and there's no place she'd rather be than back in the garden by the fruit tree. She flew straight home to see her best friend Ash. She zipped and zoomed and was back in a flash. Now Ash was happy as could be. Have you come back to play with me? Of course, smiled Dot. Just hop on my wings. I'll show you some truly magical things. We'll fly around the world and I'll carry you just like the way you used to do. Let's see all the sights, the great pyramids, then Rome and London and Paris, Madrid. Now Ash was smiling from ear to ear. Soon after our adventure we can come back here and tell our friends about what we saw. We must be good as our promise and more. So together they soared through clear sunny skies, best friends together as 2 butterflies.